and ready to learn. All right? All right, this first one, anywhere you found space, just make sure for domain you put a D somewhere, or you write out domain. So this would be negative infinity to positive infinity. If you have this, you already get half a mark. You also have to have the correct brackets around it to get the full mark. Okay, so you either choose this one or x belongs to all the real numbers. You also need the squiggly bracket. So half a mark for the whatever your values are, whatever needs to go in there, and half a mark for the correct bracket. So 1 mark for the range. In this case, if you want to use interval, you're coming from negative infinity all the way to 20, as high as 20, right? So there should be a square bracket there, round bracket there. Again, half a mark for these values being done correctly, and half a mark for the correct brackets. Or y would be less than or equal to 20 in this case. You choose which method. I would strongly suggest to just go with 1, because if you make a mistake, today we're not going to sweat it. If you get one of them right, I'm going to for today just say, okay, you got it, but make sure you don't give me more than what you absolutely have to. In this case, for the domain, you are still going from negative infinity to positive infinity because the arrowheads indicate this opens up indefinitely in both directions, and so this stays the same. Yes?
The only thing about right then was like the numbers, but I didn't get the brackets right. Or like
So you get half.
or I didn't like put them in the right order either.
Oh, not in the right order? Unfortunately, that's -1 today. Sorry about that. But you'll learn. It's all good. Domain and range is just one of those strange things. Like what's up with that, right? For this one, I'm going from -200 all the way to positive infinity. Only once today, -1. Okay? Only once. The rest we'll just honor. So I'll tell you, all of you, the same thing. If you flip this consistently the wrong way, we're gonna mark it wrong every time, but we're only gonna go -1 per page. Because I understand that you mixed it up. We're not gonna now every time remind you that you got it wrong, but just make sure you tell yourself the proper answer, but just take off 1 mark if you're flipping the order, okay? Or this would be y is greater than or equal to that -200. So half a mark for the inside, half a mark for the correct brackets, okay? Let's keep going. So basically 1 mark though, right? So 4 marks so far. For C, for the domain, you're going from, this is implied that this is 0, 0 here. So 0 to 50. Okay. And for the range, this would go as low as 0 and as high as 27.3. That would be the interval, my preference, or you go from 0, and for x, technically you should use t, but we're gonna let it go today if you used x, not a big deal right now. And for y, it's 0, h, I'm gonna use h for height, between that and 27.3. Half a mark for the insides, half a mark for the brackets, so 1 and 1. Let's keep going. The domain here goes from x as low as 0 and as high as 190. The range is as low as -15 and as high as 5. 5 is the greatest y value in this scenario here. Okay? Or for the, I'm going to use distance for x. My distance has the letter D attached to it. Again, if you used x, that is fine today. And this would go -15. And I use h for height all the way to 5. So this is one of those scenarios where both ends are capped. Okay? So 1 and 1. So how many marks for this page? 2, 4, 6, 8. Got 8 marks for this page so far. Okay, so this one, domain goes from 0 to 21, and range goes as low as 5, as high as 19.5. I will not do the other one because I think by now you understand, right? This one would be between 0 and 21. This one would be between 5 and 19.5. And now for the quadratic equations. So I like to make a little table. So I'll keep them together, 0, 9, 10.5, 19.5, and 21, 5. Okay? I put this into L1, I put this into L2, and I'm just going to go stat, calc, quadratic regression, or something like that. If you have more than that, that is fine with me. So here we go. I already went ahead and entered this. So I went stat, edit. I entered those values. By the way, once you have this somewhere in your history, save yourselves the trouble of typing it in again. Just go look it up, copy, paste, run it again, and that's how you get your answer. It's much faster than having to retype everything. So this would be negative 0.11 x squared plus 2.19 x plus 9. Okay? So this one only gets a mark because the points were given. If you have to do some work to get the points, then it's worth 2. So that is your equation right there.
And how much is these worth?
2. 2 marks, yeah. It's 1 for domain, 1 for range. Again, half a mark for the insides, half a mark for the brackets. Unfortunately, if you flip them, if you don't have them in the right order, you don't get half a mark for the insides normally. But you may still get half a mark for the correct brackets. Okay. Next, bonus. This is bonus. So far, we are at 3. Okay, 3. So 8 and 3, total of 11. That's your. The AC is worth 11. And now I'm going to do the bonus. Because I'm expecting you to do this down the road. Okay. I just need you to sketch. So nothing too fancy, but in this case, you kind of envision my domain goes from 0 to 50, right? And my range goes from 0 to 20. So what I will do is I will make a parabola like this, and I will give this like a 25, 20, right? And this is 0, 0. And this is 50, 0, okay? So you're saying that you're going all the way to 50 here, and as high as 20. Technically, there are many ways to achieve this.
Hi.
Hi there.
Delivery.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Now I'll have a good snack later on. If you did this, that is also okay. If you started at 0.20 and you go as low as, let's say, 25, 0, and you make this 50, 20, technically you're still having the domain of 0 to 50, and your range goes from 0 to 20. So either way, you're fine. Now, from 0 to 100, so I go from 0 to 100 this way. Okay, and you go from -2 to 5. So that's interesting. -2 somewhere here to 5 up there. So if you will, I will make one of these. This is just one possible. And I'll make this 0, -2, right? Indicating that it goes as low as -2. And this I'll make something 5. It's okay if you go, I'm going to go 55, right? So that's the highest and that's the lowest. And then I fulfill my X, my domain, with making this 100, 0. Okay. So that'd be one option We could have put pointing the other way. If you have both of them correct, you get a bonus of +2. Okay, one for each. Okay, so go to the front, make this worth 11, and possibly 13 out of 11 that you could score.